Well, in the time trap, can you guess what that means? We run into some Klingons again. So the Enterprise is investigating this, I don't know, sector of space, what have you. And it's a particular area where a lot of ships have mysteriously disappeared. So will the Enterprise be next? So they investigate. And suddenly, a whole bunch of Klingon ships show up. So right out the bat, probably conclude, so that's what happened to them, huh? Well, not so fast. One particular battlecruiser takes on the Enterprise, and they both get swept up in what appears to be some kind of space storm, ion storm, whatever you call it. And next thing they know, they come out of this vortex, and they're in some place that exists outside of time and space. And they find a whole bunch of derelict spaceships just floating around. Well, there's your answer. Now you know what happened. So this is like the Bermuda Triangle of outer space. And so there's all the ships that are missing. They just fell into this weird wormhole, I suppose. They don't call it that, I don't think. But nevertheless, pretty much, but it takes you into this dimension that's beyond space and time. And the Enterprise is stunned to find that not only are the ships there, but the crew lived on in those ships, and their descendants are now there. And they've all formed a society unto themselves, and they got some ruling council and all that. And they explain the deal. And so this forces, you guessed it, the Klingons and the Federation of, the Enterprise crew to work together. Because if they don't act fast, they're going to be stuck there like the rest of the ships, because the elements of the dimension they're in, I think, I'm already forgetting because, I'm feeble-minded. Their dilithium crystals are disintegrating or whatever. They won't last very, much longer in there. I guess it's like, but then how the hell would the other ships have power? Maybe they probably did explain it, and it's been a while. I've catching up on these, sorry. But anyway, that's the deal. They have to figure out a way to get out. Can you guess how? Yes, they have to share their power between the Klingon ship and the Enterprise and work together in order to escape the land beyond time and space. And it works. So the Enterprise gets on top and humps the Klingon ship because Kirk's always on top. And anyway, so it works, of course. They do manage to escape, and I believe this was, it was Commander Core who was in one of the episodes. The one where they went to the planet and thought it was a very primitive planet, but it turns out they were all people in disguise. They were actually these energy light beings, and they stopped the Federation and Klingons from waging war with their godlike powers. Whatever happened to those guys? Because there's been a lot of fights between the Federation and Klingons since then. So, I don't know. I guess they're napping. So, there you go. They escape. And, you have that tried and true trope of villains and heroes putting aside their differences and working together. And you see what you can accomplish. But all they wanted to do was get out of that place. And they left all those other people behind because, they're just happy to float around in that dark void. There's not much else going on. They just have their ships and whatever. Yeah. So it's the kind of episode, they could have done this one in the series as well. They would have had to come up with some models and probably reuse and kind of switch some things around to make it to scatter the ships floating around, and then you would have your Klingon ships, which they already did, and the Enterprise, and there you'd be. You could shoot that. So, that would probably work. They could have done it. But, of course, the show ran out of time, and that's unfortunate. And the thing about, it was Commander Core, and the original actor was not available to do the voice, so James Doohan did the voice of Core here. Nobody noticed. It worked out all right. He would reprise the role later on in the Deep Space Nine episode where they had all the Klingons that Kirk faced get together for one last little romp. And the Klingons have a longer lifespan than humans, so I guess that works out. Except, of course, they all looked like the Klingons in the later years with the ridges on their foreheads and all that. which, I wondered if the deal about their explanation that Enterprise did, that they had meddled with the eugenics program, and it had backfired on them and made them look more human-like. And so you had this whole group of Klingons that had human appearances. But over time, as they aged, maybe the DNA that's within them would manifest itself. And you could that's an explanation as to why Klingons like Kor ended up looking, like a normal Klingon. So that's just a little tidbit there. My speculation. I don't know. I think it works. So there you go. Klingons and Federation working together to, leave some place they didn't want to be. But later on, they'd come together, after the Klingons' moon blew up and messed up their power source, and, they're pretty much done for then. So they were going to need some Federation help. It's all in Undiscovered Country. Check it out. Anyway, I got a signal on my phone. Got to check that out. So I'll see you next time for another review of Star Trek, the animated series. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.